about 400 brake horsepower.
Is that a Renault Twizy? Back to slightly older cars. Ooh, over here I spy classic Hillman Imp. I nearly tried to buy a couple of those many years ago. This incredible Lamborghini Huracan. Jaguar XK8. De Chauveau is departing. Another Citroen 2CV. August 1964. Well, hi folks and welcome to the Old Classic Car channel. Yesterday evening the weather was like today, glorious, so we decided to head over to the Swettenham Arms pub for their weekly, every Tuesday evening classic car gathering. There were some fantastic cars there. I think you're going to like this one, including a very, very special Ford that we happened to see, which was a real Bobby Dazzler. Right, let's get over there. Well folks, we have made it to the Swettenham Arms. I'm not quite sure what time it is, 5ish, something like that. My youthful assistant will check.
Like 5:50.
5:50 at the moment. Already filling up very, very nicely. This is our first visit to the weekly Swettenham Arms car meet of 2025. What gems will we see here today? Who knows? I've just been having a chat with a gentleman with that lovely XJR. Alongside it is this incredible Chevrolet Bel Air. Someone was asking about this in the comments to another video only very recently, so I'll have a closer look at that one later. We've got a bit of Mark 1 MX-5 action this evening. We're here in our 1995 MX-5 California edition, one of 300, finished for the UK market in that very, very vibrant yellow. Yeah, what an incredible car that Chevy is, and look at what's parked alongside it. A stunning, I think, alloy-bodied Jaguar XK120 Roadster. What a stunning car this is. Goodwood Road Racing Club sticker in the windscreen. I was in two minds whether to actually do a video this evening. I brought the camera just in case something interesting turned up, and I think, to be honest, we are going to be set fair for a great variety of cars here this evening. Some classic, some not so classic. This did start out as a classic car meeting, but you tend to get a little bit of everything now. But obviously we'll be focusing on the older cars here this evening at the Swettenham Arms in very, very sunny Cheshire.
It's a bit nice, isn't it?
It is a bit tasty. Well, before I forget, let's have a look at this incredible two-door Chevrolet Bel Air. Faux cowhide interior, I suspect. Lots and lots of modifications, modern gears, instrumentation. Yeah, so lots and lots of modifications. So what year would this be then? Mid-50s?
Well, mid to late 50s.
Yeah, 54, 55,
I know everyone sort of
something like that.
recognises the Fintel 57 Bel Air. I think this is earlier being
Look at that. Brewers of Manhattan. Is that the original supplying dealer perhaps? Some pretty hefty looking pipes poking out from under the rear bumper there. Yeah, what an incredible looking car this is. The owner has wandered over, the owner of this incredible Chevy. So while he's still here, I'm going to collar him and find out a bit more about the specs. So what are we looking at under the bonnet of this then?
So this is a 350 Chevrolet engine,
Oh, right,
but it's
okay.
race tuned. It's got it's been bored out, different sort of cams, fuel injection. It's about 400 brake horsepower. It's too wild
Wow.
for this car, but it goes with the image, doesn't it? You can't have a piece of rust underneath this car.
So did you build this then, or did you buy it done or part done?
A bit of both. It came over in 1987.
Right.
A guy brought it over. Totally took it all apart. Sandblasted the chassis, did all the body, took all the rust out of it, and then sort of put it back together, but never finished it.
Right. Yep.
So I took it over from him. He says, "I've got you all to run out of money, you know the story." So I then got it, and I'd done the wiring, the power steering, the brakes,
Wow.
and got it to where it is today, and all the axles.
So what's with the bodywork then? Is that
So this is just polished metal.
it is polished metal, right?
polished,
Okay,
yes.
so it is bare metal.
Yeah. So originally it had paint,
Yeah.
and then when the paint come off, the body's in such good a condition. It's a shame to hide it, because you can cover all sorts, can't you?
Yeah, because from a distance you might think, oh, maybe it's a wrap or something like that.
Chrome or something.
Yeah.
And then it had a lacquer on, but then I wasn't happy with the lacquer because you got moisture in between the lacquer and the metal, and then no matter what you did, you couldn't stop it. So I cleaned it all off.
Wow.
And just keep polishing it now, and it's the best thing you ever did, because it's easy to upkeep. You get a bit of a marker and not, you just polish it out.
Yeah, definitely. Wow. Yeah, it's definitely a labour of love, this one, isn't it?
Oh, it's different, it's quirky.
Yeah.
It appeals to little old ladies, little kids. I'm shocked how many people are drawn to it.
So these are a bit like off a Buick, aren't they?
Yes,
They sometimes had the portholes, didn't they?
That's right, they did.
Yeah. Wow, that's an incredible looking car. Well, thanks for having a quick chat about the incredible modifications. Yep, we're definitely going to get a variety of cars here this evening. 2 Mark 1 MX-5s here. Happy memories of owning 2 bright red Mark 1s many years ago. You always get quite a few performance cars here as well. Like I said, it's mainly the older cars we'll be looking at. I'm sure someone else will do a video of the modern supercars that are here, but there are quite a few interesting older cars here already, including a stunning pre-war V8 Ford which is parked over the back there, so we'll definitely be having a closer look at that one. I had the V8 Pilot out only earlier today. There's a little yellow MX-5 glowing away merrily alongside a Porsche and an Audi. The Audi overtook us on the way over here. The XJR appears to be moving. Stunning looking car. Happy memories of owning an XJR in the identical colour to that some years ago now. There's photos of a very young, youthful assistant alongside it. That's going back probably 8 or 9 years now. Yep, so the MX-5 is out, freshly MOT'd recently, following the big brake overhaul that I had to do on it. And what's this over here? A Lamborghini Huracan. Where's it going? Let's see if we can get this coming in. I wonder if that 400 GT, the 2+2 that turned up here last year, will be making an appearance. You certainly don't see these Huracans all that often. Parking up alongside good old Land Rover and a Defender next to that. Yeah, pretty cool car. There's a great little chrome bumper MGB GT. Really cool to see that one here. Looks like a really good usable car, that one, on painted wires. And indeed the youthful assistant is keen on painted wires. He's not into chrome either, so that's good. So we're obviously doing something right. But yeah, it's probably just about 6 o'clock now, so there's going to be all sorts of cars turning up this evening. I saw a post on Facebook earlier saying it's going to be rammed today, and with the weather like this, it's hard to argue with that prediction. Let's see what happens. Now, the very nature of these evening car meets is that cars come and go throughout the evening, and I want to make sure that I don't miss having a proper close look at some of the cars that really catch my eye here today, beginning with this incredible pre-war American 4-door V8 over here. There we go, 1935 Ford V8. So this is the great granddaddy to our V8 Pilot in many respects. This will have the good old side valve or flathead V8 engine under that bonnet, and look at the wonderful stylised V8 badge there just underneath that incredible mascot. What a beauty that is. Chrome gleaming. It's got Lucas P700 headlamps in it. What a fantastic looking car. Left hand drive. What a belter this is. Yep, so this is a 4-door. I imagine they did a 2-door as well. Try not to walk backwards into anything, but I want to have a proper look. Look at the cover over the spare wheel. I love that kind of detail. And the Ford script there on the hubcap. Apologies for reflections. What an amazing looking car. So rear hinged, aka suicide doors at the back, conventionally hinged doors at the front. And alongside the lovely V8 Ford, we have this great little two-tone Citroen 2CV. Windows raised, no wind-up windows on these beauties. All pretty basic. It looks like a very Bond example. Lots of these have been upgraded to galvanised chassis. Ooh, I've just noticed the exhaust tip on this Ford. Oof, that's nice. One either side, of course, because twin pipes out the back on these V8s. But anyway, where was I? Citroen 2CV Special. The roof folded back as you'd expect on a lovely warm evening like this. Pretty cool. Gear lever protruding through the centre of the dash. You can just about see that there. So there's a bit of a knack, I believe, to driving these, other than moving a Citroen Cadian around some years ago now. I haven't really any experience at all in driving these. I often wonder what they'd be like if you've got a 2CV, or if you've owned one. Let me know what they're like to own and drive. Yeah, that's pretty cool seeing those two here. Right, let's carry on along here past the Corvette. Is this an Audi 80 or a 90 perhaps? Cabriolet, Fiat 124 Spider, and another lovely MGB GT. I'm sure the youthful assistant is wishing he was still insured on his granddad's similarly aged MGB GT, but maybe at some point in future that will happen again, probably once he's passed his test. But yeah, it's pretty cool to see this one. This one's on chrome wires, so yeah, bit of variety here this evening. A little Golf Cabriolet there. I think the body was done by Carmen, wasn't it? Same as with the original VW Beetles. Still see cars pouring in. Looks like we got here at the good time. And over here, a Willys Jeep, a wartime Willys Jeep. And this, in post-war years, one of these will provide the template for the 1948 onwards Land Rover, the Series 1. So, yeah, pretty cool to see these here. Super popular. You can buy everything for these, even a complete new body tub if you really want one. Yeah, pretty neat. Often you see these with machine guns deactivated, of course. Sometimes they have those cutter things on the front for chopping down barbed wire as you're bouncing your way across enemy or previously enemy occupied land. We have a white Triumph TR6 over here. Great day to have the roof down, to have a better listen at that lovely 2.5 straight six. An Aston over here from 2006, so almost 20 years old. I'm sure Harley knows all about this one. Lots of people admiring that incredible Chevy over there and the XK120. What's this over here? Mercedes-Benz 190E. Those are good cars there, properly made Mercs. I keep finding myself looking at adverts for old Mercedes. I must stop it. Yeah, good cars these are. Is that a Renault Twizy? Wowzers. Real variety at this incredible car meeting this evening. Look at this, an old Nissan Micra. That's an unusually well preserved example. Two-tone as well. Don't often see that nowadays. Honda S2000 parked over here. Back to slightly older cars, and a lovely VW Beetle here, a 6-volt VW Beetle, a JRC 41, presumably the original registration number. Great colour, almost identical to that on our Renault 4CV back at base. Oh, what a stunning car this is. Matching pair of Bosch fog and spot lamps on the front of this one. A beautiful car. Oh, who remembers that? Have you got a Tiger in your tank, I wonder? Looks like a Sierra pulling in over there. Looks like one of the Sapphire Cosworths. I love the little posy holder. Not sure if you can see that through the window. Great looking car this is. I do like the look of these early VWs, especially with these small backlights. I think the older you go with Beetles, the better looking they are. Of course, you go back further, this is an oval window car, but if you go back further, they had a split oval rear window, and so on. Yeah, pretty cool. Quite a few young timer cars here, modern classics. Audi here, got quite the following. TVR, always get plenty of TVRs and indeed Porsches at the meetings we get to. Talking of Porsches, I can see an air-cooled 911 just over there. We've got a BMW Z4. That one's left-hand drive. Where's it going? Which model is it? Looks pretty cool. And those Fuchs, is that how you pronounce it? The wheels. Ooh, over here I spy classic Hillman Imp. Linwood's finest, built up in Scotland. And I've not seen this one before. Looks like it does a bit of clubby rallying perhaps. Some pretty hefty looking Cobra bucket seats in there. Of course, rear engine, lots of extra gauges, tacho up there. Very sporty steering wheel as well. But I love this set of Lucas lamps with covers on the fronts. They just look perfect. I do like those a lot. This one looks like a really original little car on mini light wheels as well. Mini lights suit some cars more than others, but on Imps I think they look great. So that's really neat to see that engine in the tail, of course. Way back over here. Lift up rear window too. Oh, there we go. Made in Linwood. We're celebrating 60 years of the Imp back in 2023. What a cool little car.
Well, if you look at the Spitfire, the main series, older than
And alongside the 7, a beautiful bright yellow, our favourite colour, FIAT 124 Spider from the, what's that, our edge, the late 1970s, about 76, somewhere around that kind of age. Unusual. Most of these seem to be left-hand drive, the ones I've seen. What a great looking car. It really pops in that colour as well, and those period alloy wheels as well. No bumpers on this one, which really suits it. But yeah, it's a great looking car, and I don't think we've seen this one before at any of the meets we've been to, certainly here. So it's really cool to see that on this wonderful warm evening. Yeah, right hand drive, fancy that. Here's that lovely old Land Rover 1966. That's the registration. Could be a little bit earlier than that. Oops. Yes, I think it's probably a little bit earlier than that, if I'm honest. The Series 1s came out in 1948, but they were built for a few years until the Series 2 came along. But whatever, looks super original, this one. Just how a Landy should look, in my humble opinion, of course. Yeah, looks super original. Look at the wear on those back lights. Land Rover, Birmingham, England. Lovely old canvas as well. Oh, that looks just perfect. I have to correct myself, this is a 912E. I never realised they made the 912 that late. Very interesting car indeed then. What do we have over this corner of the car park? TVR Chimera. With a super rare Skoda Favorit. Somewhat lower than stock, I suspect. Triumph Stag. I hear it's 3 litre V8 engine burbling away to itself. Very distinctive engine note on those, unlike most of the other V8s we tend to hear. Certainly different to the Rover, the good old Rover 3.5, which we see and hear quite regularly. But yeah, this is quite an unusual little car, this one. Let's have a quick peer inside as the window is open. Not sure I'd want to get too intimate with that steering wheel boss, but yeah, Cool. And it's a flare line limited edition, unleaded fuel only. Handy reminder. Of course, when this first came out, you could still get leaded petrol. Those were the days. It's one of those plastic rear window louvers as well. Yeah, rare car. I'm assuming it's on air suspension because the lane to get down here to the Swettenham Arms is less than smooth, so I don't think I want to be hugging the ground too much driving over this away. Rare sight nowadays. Ooh, and we have an XJ Coupe, and I remember seeing this one here last year. So that's a Series 2. It's got a Series 3 grille, but it's based on the Series 2. They only did the XJ Coupe, the two-door coupe, on the mid-70s Series 2 short wheelbase platform. Some had the 4.2, some had the 5.3 V12. All of them were super stylish. This one's got a body colour roof. When new it would have had a black vinyl roof, but lots of these cars, when they've been restored, they get a body colour roof, and they do look sensational. This is an XJC 4.2. Going up towards the entrance now, another Mark 1 MX-5. There must be 5 or 6 of them here tonight. Apologies for the shadows. And here we have a little Honda Civic, I think, on an H plate. So what's that, late 1980s era, certainly of that point in time. So what is it? Honda GL, yep, Civic, 16 valve. And you can see, who remembers acid etching your registration number into all the windows on the car as a security feature? The theory being that if someone stole the car and changed the plates on it to give it another ID, most of the time they wouldn't bother changing all the glass as well. So I think that was an idea, was to deter people from stealing the car in the first place. Yeah, pretty cool to see this one here. Pretty rare sight now, and it's got a factory steel roof as well. So a bit of luxury in this one. Oops. It's getting a bit tight there. Right, where shall we go? So which limited edition is this? I think it is one. It's got a little badge down here. Oops, it's missing the thing. But judging by that colour of leather interior, it's the Harvard edition. Right, so that's another one of the many limited editions that were offered on the Series 1 MX-5 and the imported Unoses from the Japanese market. Like I say, ours is the California. This is the Harvard. Still with keep fit windows, the old wind-up windows, no electric windows on this one. The two Mark 1s that we had quite a few years ago now, they both had electric windows, but to be honest, I much prefer the manual windows on our California. I remember the cables used to snap quite regularly if they weren't regularly greased inside the doors, so yeah, give me the wind-up windows anytime. Here's Wilfred in the E30 BMW Cabriolet. Yeah, good evening to you. Hello. Yeah, it's a very smart car indeed. Oh, look at this wonderful Humber Super Snipe. Wow, I love those. I nearly tried to buy a couple of those many years ago. What a fantastic car. I'm just doing a little clip for my video, but I won't hold you up, sir. So what year is this? 55, is it? Oh, right, brilliant. Right, so I won't hold you up because there's a bit of a queue, but lovely car. That's fantastic. That's distantly related to that old Talbot that we used to have. Yeah, rare car to see, that is. Caterham Superlight, an R500. I imagine that's a bit of a giggle. I think the youthful assistant has spotted the Humber.
But you see the old American.
Got to have a look at this incredible Lamborghini Urraco. Try and avoid someone's photographs. Right, okay. Little extra Carello lamps on the front there. Proper 70s supercar vibe going on there. What an incredible looking car that is. Low and wide, just like the, what's the other one? The Espada. This is the understudy, I suppose. I love the sticker in the window. What's that? Oh, that's pretty cool. Window is open and it's right hand drive as well. That must make it pretty unusual. Very distinctive gear selector there, just like on a Ferrari. Pretty groovy dashboard and interior there. Couldn't be from any other era other than the 1970s.
Have you seen this Humber?
Jaguar XK120, one of Harley's favourites. That's, I think one of those will be on his shopping list before long. Now there are a few cars over here which I've not seen yet, so we'll just zoom past our little car. Another VW Beetle here. This one's slightly later than the other one, so that's on an H reg, so beginning of the 70s. For this one, it's got an October 69 tax disc in the window, so we'll go with that. But some groovy wheels on there. Are they MP? Yes, they are. MP GT. Yeah, well, there we go. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Badge on the side. We like that kind of thing. Period accessories. Yeah, period upgrades and accessories. That's always good to see. VW 1500. Very neat looking car. I do like these stripes down the side. Very in keeping. Oh, really nice shade of blue as well. And alongside that we have a white Mazda Unos. You can always tell them because they have the narrower rear number plates. So this will be originally a Japanese market car that's been brought over here in more recent time. Lots and lots of them. So whereas we called it the MX-5 in America, it was a Miata. In Japan, the home market, it was the Unos Roadster. Hence the badging on the back of there. It's been very popular over the years to bring these in from Japan. I believe they don't salt the roads over there. So, because these things can rot just a little bit, or indeed really quite a lot, there's a lot to be said for getting a Japanese market car and bringing it over. The second of the Mark 1s that we had was a Unos, and that was a really good car. There was no rust on it at all, unlike the first one that we had, which went very rusty indeed. This is all pretty familiar territory. If you've been watching the channel for a little while, you'll remember a few months ago I had the cam belt snap on our yellow Mark 1. I had to pull all this off the front, including the cam covers, to replace the belt which is in there. It wasn't too bad a job really, but I did watch a few videos on YouTube just to get the gist of it before diving in. So yeah, pretty cool to see. It's got a strut brace across here just to stiffen the shell up a little bit, mounted on top of the suspension towers either side, just to make the body shell a little bit more rigid. But yeah, it looks pretty stock. We are being treated to a plethora of bright yellow cars here this evening at the Swettenham Arms, including this pretty groovy Lotus Europa. Pretty wild looking car. Now, is it these that had the Renault 16 gearbox in them? I think it probably was. Super low car. Very distinctive styling. I think this is one of the slightly later cars. The early ones, the roof sort of continued back. But then they introduced this sort of slight notch back to them. I think I've got that the right way round. World champion car constructors there, nod to Lotus's incredible F1 success stories. Let's carry on round here. And there's the back of that Vet. And a Super Mark II Escort. A 4-door Ford Escort Mark II gear. So this is one of the upmarket examples. Yeah, you can see the little Gear badge down there. Gear originally was its own coach building company. Then Ford bought it up and used that badge on its plushest of Escorts and Cortinas, Ford Granadas, that kind of thing. But you can see it's got vinyl roof, extra strips down the side, a shiny chrome passenger door mirror, all the mod cons, all the little luxuries that the buyer of a slightly more upmarket Ford Escort in the 1970s would demand. Big green McLaren is off by the look of it. Well, let's have a closer look at this incredible Humber. Now, I always associated these with sort of the late 1940s, this shape, and up to about 52 or 53, but I could be wrong. In fact, I probably am. Either way, incredible. These, I think, have the big side valve 6-cylinder engine, not dissimilar to that was fitted to our old Comma lorry. I'm sure I've got that right. I might have to check up on that, but it's rare to see one of these out and about now. This super clean in there. Yeah, I've just overheard it has got the original 4-litre straight 6 engine. Obviously retrimmed, perhaps used for weddings, perhaps, not sure. Certainly lends itself to that, and the colour scheme as well. Yeah, incredible car, but I'm looking down the side of it here, and this part, obviously this bit and the front are different. They were modified in the late 40s, but the main body shell looks very, very similar to that of the old 3-litre Talbot that I had, which was built in 1937, I think it was. So, yeah, so this is an evolution of that car, but it's really rare to see one of these in any condition now. Like I said, the interior has been retrimmed, a lot brighter than it would have been back in the olden days, but lovely dash, lovely ivory fittings. Roots Group cars are always a treat inside. Yeah, rare car that. Very sharp looking Porsche 911 Targa here. So what's that on the C plate? So about 1985 or early 86 Targa, because it has the lift out roof panels, just like the Surrey roof on the Triumph TRs. By this point in time they'd gone to the fixed rear glass screen. The very early Targas had a flexible rear screen, if I remember correctly. Yeah, pretty cool. It's one of not that many cars which I think really suits white with the black accents on these 911s, and indeed the A30 that we saw coming in before really looks the part, I think. That's one cool looking car. The Chevaux is departing. Like I said before, this is one of those meets where cars come and go as and when the owners feel like. Yeah, pretty cool to see that here today. This Jeep Cherokee followed us in earlier. So what era of Jeep is that? Was that the WJ came later? We had a WK era of Grand Cherokee with a 5.7 Hemi in it until a year or so back. Is this the XJ? Answers on a postcard please, but I think this may be the XJ series of Jeep Cherokee, but I could easily be wrong. What a cool, funky looking thing. There are some cars parking on the overflow field, and I'm not sure if it's members of the public or if it's also displaying cars as well, so I might have to have an amble down there and just see if there's anything to be seen over that way. It's just over there behind the trees. Jensen Interceptor over here with bonnet raised. There's the Chrysler V8 unit.
Yeah. More now than they were then. That's pretty lovely. Yeah. The check strap allows it to open too wide.
Oh, there's a little minivan just pulled in. A little mini 95 van on a V plate. That's the early ones used to have a little vent in the roof. But by the 1970s that had been deleted. And this from the good old Leyland, the British Leyland days. These were built for years. And even though the cars, when the Mark III Mini came along, hinges went inside and they got wind-up windows, the vans and the pickups continued with the outside door hinges and slidey door windows right the way through production. When were these made? Till about 1979 or 1980, making this one of the last, I would have thought. Boxster is firing up over there. And what do we have over here? Like I say, cars come and go throughout the evening, so you have to really keep your wits about you. And here we have a Renault 5 GT Turbo alongside our little Mazda. Pretty cool car, this one. This one on the left, registration bright red. Super looking car. Of course the Renault 5 has been reimagined in recent times as a full electric car. Joy of joy, but this is a proper Renault 5. Renault Elf. Of course, Elf being one of the sponsors of the Renault F1 team back in the olden days. Yeah, pretty cool looking car. I can hear a drone above my head somewhere. Yeah, that's pretty neat. It's still got a 1989 tax disc in the window. Several flies have met their maker on the way over here.
Oh yeah.
Off goes the Chevy. Porsche 944 arrives. Lots to polish on this incredible Harley parked over here in front of the Smart Roadster. Twizzy turns round. Over here, great little Lotus Elise. Yep, the overflow car park is in the field just over here. Can't see too much from here. At least nothing really interesting apart from the red TR4 at the end of the row over there. This certainly is one very popular meet. Incredible really that this is weekly throughout the spring, summer and into the autumn. Presumably details on the Swettenham Arms pub Facebook group. Here's that pretty mad little Renault Twizy. Yes, it's a modern car, but not a car you see all that often. Does it even qualify as a car, or is it one of these sort of curious little French devices that are classed as quadricycles? Could well be. Pretty mad looking car, to be honest. With the scissor doors, just like a Lamborghini. But that is where the similarity ends. But yeah, perfect little car, just for bombing around the town centre in. This is what we should be being incentivised to buy new, I think. Great little thing. Apologies for any dust on the lens, it is spectacularly dusty here today. There goes the wartime Willys Jeep. Looks like the TVR Cerberus is preparing to leave as well. Ooh, another Citroen 2CV! Just like the one in that Roger Moore Bond film. Which one was that? Classic Jaguar XK8 here, convertible version. So this will have the V8 in it, very similar running gear to in our XJ Sports, which we have had here on occasion. And there is that two-door, the XJ 4.2C, to give it its proper name. Very handsome looking car. Like I say, these are based on the short wheelbase version of the Series 2 chassis, which they didn't make for all that long anyway. And it's got the old 8-track in there as well, like that kind of thing. Yeah, that's pretty groovy. I well remember these in the local BL garage in Cheadle, where I grew up, Reeds of Cheadle. That's where I picked up brochures on the 6-cylinder and the 12-cylinder versions of these Jaguars and Daimlers. Like I say, this has got the Series 3 XJ grille on it, otherwise looks pretty standard. It's got the Kent alloy wheels, which I think really suit the old XJs. Yeah, lovely car. What's this parking pass here? I'm not sure. Sometimes you can look at parking passes and that gives you a clue as to where these cars have spent their early lives. So this has got the regular auto box in this one, most of them were. Yeah, lovely looking car, very shapely indeed. I remember reading how they had loads of trouble. Production of these was delayed because to get the rear window to seal with the door glass was a bit of a headache by all accounts. Yeah, this little bright yellow 2CV that just arrived, it really is a cracker. Shame the other one's already departed. There's the little Citroen chevrons there on the glass, original glass. Really like that kind of thing. But yeah, very bonny example of bright yellow, our favourite colour. Well, there's the TR4 that was in the distant car park. Moved it over now that there's a gap, and rightly so. Joining the lineup of classic cars here at this fantastic evening meet. Super popular. Yeah, that looks pretty cool, debumpered. Well, so far this incredible 1935 Ford V8 is definitely pretty much at the top of the tree, certainly for me at this particular meeting. What a stunning car it is. Fords of very different ages here. Lot of engine in this Triumph motorcycle. Pretty big fuel tank as well. Triumph Stag Mark II here. This is the one we saw arriving a few minutes ago. Can't say I've ever seen a boot rack like this before without the raised bit either that end or that end, depending on your preference, but I've never seen one like this before. So that's quite an exciting thing to see. Pretty groovy car. Very solid rollover frame. That was standard fitment on these. If you look out the prototype photographs, it didn't have any of that at all. It just had the windscreen without any of this rollover protection. But I guess by the 1970s it was all getting quite litigious and safety concerns were becoming a bit of a thing. This one's been upgraded with walnut dashboard, walnut veneer dashboard, replacing the original wood that would have been in here back in the 1970s. This one with manual overdrive. Nice. I've always thought these are really good looking cars. Oh, I spy Jaguar XKR over here. This is the supercharged XK8. Identifiable. Yeah. Oh, is it one of the XKR 100s? That was to celebrate, I think, 100 years since Sir William Lyons was born, I think. But yes, you can always tell the supercharged ones because they have these louvers in the bonnet. A pretty cool looking car. The XJ 4.2C is departing. Bonnet now up on the Triumph TR4. There's the lusty, very dependable 4-cylinder engine. Is it 2088cc, I think? Fed by a couple of SU carburetors. I like these old air cleaners, the old air cleaners there, which you sort of clean with a bit of oil before replacing them, or refitting them rather. Yeah, lots and lots of room under the bonnet of these. Of course there'll be a little bit less room on the TR5 and the 6 because you've got an extra couple of cylinders, but these 4-cylinder TR4, yeah, they're nice. I was just looking at the those air cleaners myself, and they are original radiator stand part.
It looks just like a really genuine.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? And here we have the old wiper motor, dated August 1964. We say goodbye to the Ford Escort Mark II gear. Ooh, there are now 2 Jensen Interceptors over here with bonnet raised. Here's the one that was here before, and that's been joined by a black example. They're both M registration. They are indeed both badged up Interceptor 3, although this one has an EFI badge. So maybe there has been some modifications under here. There we go, that's interesting. Jensen Motors Limited Chrysler engine. And it's got an engine date of January 1973. Pretty cool. There's a lot of heat coming off this engine. Very good. These Z4 coupes are pretty cool. Kind of reminiscent a bit of a Triumph GT6. Also with a straight 6 under the bonnet. I'll look at this alongside a Triumph TR3A. You can tell it's a 3A because it's got the outside door handle. Oops. Right. Very neat indeed. A couple of nominal, well, it's like nominal seating in the back, but only if you have nothing in the way of knees, so it's really for storage. What are we looking at?
Shortest shift I've ever seen in my life.
That is a very short stubby gear lever indeed. Yeah, pretty cool car. But back to the 1950s and this TR3A, lovely interior. That Porsche 912E is just firing up in the background. Yeah. Also on the 3A, had a slightly wider grille compared to the TR3 that came before. Yeah. The 912E is just firing up. I can hear the flat 4 engine. Yeah, it's a pretty cool car, very rare. I never realised they made a 912 that far into the 1970s. Maybe it was an American market thing. Yeah, very rare car, that one. I never realised how big the factory steel sunroofs are in the Porsche 944. Takes up most of the roof. Yeah. Handsome looking car, I think. Scuderia Ferrari. Just having another look at this XK convertible. My youthful assistant tells me that the shape of the dashboard in these, that huge slab of veneer over there, was inspired by the shape of the wing of the original Supermarine Spitfire. So I never knew that. Right folks, well, I think we have probably seen all the older cars that are going to turn up this particular week here at the Swettenham Arms. So thank you so much for watching this particular video. Please give it a like if you found it of interest. Are you subscribed yet? Please think about doing so. And there will be loads more videos along very, very soon. Quite possibly more from future visits here to the Swettenham Arms Classic Car Meet. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.